Let's say you have a salary of $50,000. How much do you pay towards federal taxes if you're using the standard deduction? First, you would look at how much a standard deduction is for a single pair, $12,400. So you would subtract that amount from your salary. So when they calculate your federal taxes, they actually treat you as if your salary is just $37,600. So if it had been treated as $50,000, it would have fallen in the 22% bracket, but now that it's treated as $37,000, it actually saves you even more money because now it's treated as if it's in the 12% bracket. From this point on, your process for calculating your taxes is exactly what you did on the previous page. You just figure out how much of your $37,600 salary is over $9,875, and then you plug that in. You follow the same process when you're filing your taxes together with your spouse. The only difference is your standard deduction as a couple is double what it would have been as a single person. It would be $24,800. So you would take your salary and subtract that standard deduction. So your salary would actually be treated as if it was about $60,000 instead. You plug your numbers into the rule for that 12% tax bracket, and you get how many taxes you owe. Sadly, federal taxes are not the only tax you pay each year. You also pay state taxes and FICA taxes on top of that. So let's say our salary is $50,000. How much do you pay towards FICA taxes? Well, FICA taxes is always, no matter how much you make, 7.65% of your salary. So you just need to figure out what 7.65% of 50,000 is. Don't forget with percents, you always have to move the decimal twice. So really that's treated as 0.0765. And then you'd multiply it by your salary of 50,000. So you'd pay $3,825 towards FICA taxes each year. Now, with that $50,000 salary, let's figure out how much money you'd actually take home after federal taxes and FICA taxes are taken out. So how much money do you have left after you take out FICA from your $50,000? Okay, about $46,000. And if you look at your previous page, you already calculated in problem number 4 how much you'd pay for federal taxes with a $50,000 salary. So take that $4,314 and subtract that federal tax as well. So after federal taxes and FICA, you take home about $41,860 of your $50,000 salary. Honestly, though, it would be a little bit less than that. It'd probably be in the high 30,000s because we didn't calculate state taxes, and that would deduct another couple $1,000s as well. We'll talk more about that in just a second. Try the process we just did for number 6 for this last problem. Figure out how much you would owe in FICA taxes. Check your answer. And then pause the video here and figure out your answer for part B. When you take out the FICA taxes you just calculated from your $85,000 combined salary as a couple, and you also take out the federal taxes you calculated on the previous page, you'd get a little bit over $70,000. Last bit of notes. There's a couple different taxes we did not include in our calculations. State taxes, which I briefly mentioned, which vary by what state you live in. 7 states actually don't have state taxes at all. And the brackets in state taxes can range from 0 to roughly 13% of your income, depending on how much you make. And it actually has more different brackets you could fall in California, 10 different income brackets than it would in federal state taxes. So state taxes tend to be add up to a lot less than federal taxes, but usually a bit more than FICA taxes. We also did not include calculations for tax credits, which would actually lower the amount of taxes you owed depending on your situation. You can get tax credits for things like having dependents, for example, children that depend on you financially, or for things like having bought an electrical vehicle that has lower emissions and is better for the environment. Now, a tax credit is actually subtracted from the amount of tax you owe at the end of all the math instead of from your taxable salary at the beginning of all the math, which means that tax credits actually save you more money than tax deductions. So they're an even better deal. For example, if you owe $1,000 in taxes but you have a $1,000 tax credit, you pay $0. That's it for today. Don't forget to turn in the worksheet when you're done.